Hello, and welcome back to the Waistline Podcast. This is Lee Syatt, and thank you so much for joining me again on another week on this journey. We have a great guest this week. We have another great listener call with a gentleman named Connor from Northern Ireland, and he lost over 140 pounds. Pretty amazing, great story, and we're going to get to Connor in just a couple minutes. I do want to give you a quick little update on myself. So I'm recording this on May 6th because this week, actually from the 10th to the 17th, I don't know why I'm telling you, but I just am. I will be out of town for work, so I'm getting this week's episode together, and then tomorrow I will be filming next week's episode because even though I get back on Monday, I don't want to have to rush to the office because I get back at like 11 o'clock at night. So I'm going to get both of these week's episodes ready for you, and so I'm recording it a little early. No, I did not have tacos on Cinco de Mayo like I normally like to. My office even had a Cinco de Mayo party with chips and tacos. I don't know if they had tacos. They had margaritas, and they had chips and salsa. I mean, it's sort of like the East Coast. It's very funny. It's like it's not really Mexican food. It's Tostitos and salsa. But they tried. It's nice that they at least did something. But I didn't do it. I do have a green screen now. Very fun. I am not actually in a grocery store. Wouldn't that be funny if I just set up a desk in a grocery store to do this podcast? Clean up on aisle 3. I would eat all the snacks. But I am in. I'm probably eventually going to make like a more professional background. But I just thought it was funny to be in a grocery store today. So we'll see what happens in the future. A quick update on where I am weight loss wise, and unfortunately next week I won't have an update for you exactly where I am. Maybe I'll make a quick video from my what is it called? That's maybe what I'll do. I'll make a quick video from my hotel and tell you, because I'm bringing my scale with me. They're gonna laugh when they see that in the scanner. But I'll make a quick video next week. You will know where I am. But this week, I'm very excited. I went over the 75-pound down mark. I'm 76.2 pounds down. 100 pounds to go probably. But we're getting there. I'm into the 250s again for the first time in years. So that feels great. I'm excited but nervous for the trip only because... And I talked about it on here, how I love eating. Well, obviously I love eating, but I love eating in hotels. I love traveling and going to these new restaurants, and I love having snacks in hotel rooms. And I won't be able to do that this trip. I'll at most have 2 nights, probably only supposed to have 1 night of... and I'm not going to go crazy. Like I told you, I think... last week that I'm a mile away from a Culver's, which I love, but I even with my cheat, I can't go to Culver's because there won't be enough food for me to be hungry or to be full the next day. So I'm not going to go to Culver's. I think I will get some green chili, and maybe find another cool place in Denver. Who knows? There is an In-N-Out also, and In-N-Out's okay, but it's not. The fries aren't worth it, and I'm not going to get a burger without getting fries. That's just a crazy person. But if you can do it, I'm proud of you, but I can't. So I'm doing pretty well. I'm pretty happy with my weight loss so far. Like I said, when I get back, I am going to start doing different weight loss meal plan ideas, like different diets sort of for you. So I'm going to try keto. I'm going to try carnivore, Weight Watchers, maybe Noom, and give them maybe a week or 2 of a try each. And as much as I'll miss carbs for the carnivore and the keto, maybe I'll start with carnivore and then go into keto, because that way I'm sort of already in ketosis, I think. I don't really exactly know how it works. But this is actually a great transition because my buddy Connor lost 140 pounds by doing keto, and he is still doing keto. He says he occasionally does have a cheat, and no one is 100% strict, and he doesn't eat. He looks great. He is in amazing shape. He's kept it off for a few years now, and he's really gotten the system down. So and you'll hear about this in the talk. He was a filmmaker, and then is now a film professor, and gained a ton of weight, and he did something that was actually very again, speaking to what I just spoke of, he actually started his weight loss journey while on vacation, which is ballsy as hell. I don't think I could do that. To start it on vacation, like the best part about, I mean, I've been in it almost now for 6 months. So now, even though I am going to be disappointed, the fact that I'm going to be on the diet is not something new to me. To just start such a drastic weight loss on a vacation, and I'm almost positive he was in Spain, which I've heard the food's amazing there. So to start that in a country with amazing food, a ton of willpower. He was either in Spain or Italy. You'll hear about it in here. And he not only did he lose an amazing amount of weight, but he's kept it off. He's completely changed his life. He says he takes hours-long walks during the pandemic all around Northern Ireland. So if you're in Ireland and you want to give Connor, say hi to him, just send him your love. He's a great guy, and I'm so happy to have him on. Just very quickly, before we start, this podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, and Manscaped just came out with the Lawnmower 4.0, a brand new trimmer, same great ceramic edge, skin-safe technology. It has wireless charging now. You can turn the light on and off. You can lock it. So bing, bang, boom, it's locked. And now your silly kids can't press to turn it on, but I just turned it back on. So now, boom, it turns on. And you can also turn the light on and off, but I don't know why you would. So go to manscaped.com and you're going to get 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com and put in the code word SYATT, SYATT. You get 20% off plus free shipping using code SYATT. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Thank you so much to Manscaped. Thank you for watching and listening. And thank you to Connor very much for coming on. I'm so thrilled that everyone else gets to hear this talk. And if you want to be a listener, call in. I have a few backed up, so it might not happen maybe until June, but I'm going to do more calls. So if you want to talk with me about your weight loss journey, whether you've done it, you're in it, or you're about to do it, I'd love to talk to you. Email me, waistlinepodcast@gmail.com. But without further ado, Mr. Connor Clements. Hold on. Let me give him his last name. Clements. Not Clements. Clements. Mr. Connor, thank you very much for coming on to the Waistline Podcast and sharing your story. It was great talking to you. I saw on here that you said you used to do film stuff.
Yeah. I suppose I studied film at university and got into filmmaking sort of in the mid 2000s, late 2000s, and I did some film, worked on some films, and I got a bit fed up working on films because there's plenty of films you can work on that you never get paid.
Right.
And so I decided I'll just do my own film. I thought, I'm going to do all this work, I'll at least have something to show myself. And I made a short film around 2007, 2008, which did quite well. I ended up going to Sundance, and I didn't really know what a big deal going to Sundance was until I got there. It was quite
Right.
fun. Yeah, because no one really heard of it out here in Ireland, at least Northern
Oh,
Ireland.
wow. That's funny.
Well, I guess for me, I wasn't really part of that sort of film festival scene. But it was good. I got to travel a lot. I'd been to America then, I think about 4 or 5 times with the short film, different festivals. I remember going to Palm Springs. I was in Los Angeles and in Hollywood, to New York a few times, and San Francisco. I got to travel quite a bit in America, which was good.
Very
So
cool.
about 2009, 2010, I think even maybe 2011, I was there. I won I was in like a festival in Bermuda as well, which was good.
Yeah, that's a lot different from Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
That might be
yeah,
the exact opposite of Northern Ireland.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, that was all very well. But I mean, I remember even at that time, being really heavy and not having a lot of confidence in myself. And I think that was one of the things, like having really low self-esteem, in spite of the fact that I did like an award-winning short film and everything. I still had this self-doubt and low self-esteem, and it really held me back in a lot of ways. And um, I just find it really difficult to go on and keep making films because I just felt like you were always a bit of a failure in yourself. So, you
how
know,
how big were you?
well, I've converted it to pounds for you because we do stones here. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty much
yeah. Stone
stone.
is
So
something
it's
I
like,
don't know.
yeah, at my worst, going back a few years ago, was like 300 pounds,
Okay, and how
and
tall are you?
like 5'8", 5'9".
Okay, yeah, and
That was
that's
heavy.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's it's weird. Do you remember? Because I remember like when I first saw the three in front of the number, and I know it's a little different because of stone. But when I first saw the three, I was like, wow, because I'd always been big,
yeah,
but that
yeah,
number is like sort of an indicator. Like even honestly for me, two should have been an indication, but
yeah.
it wasn't. But three was like, wow, I really messed up here.
Yeah, I think it's harder for Americans because you use pounds, and like 300 compared to 21, it's a lot worse, you
Right? No,
know?
now I should move to Europe. 21.
Yeah.
I sound like I should eat more.
Well, I was when I hit 20, I thought this is a problem. So I think I got to about 21 at one point, and that would have been about 3 years ago. It was a general creep up over the years.
Yeah. No,
Um,
it really messes with your brain because
yeah,
you gain 4 pounds. Like, oh, maybe these pants are just a little tight and
you could gain 4 pounds in a day, you know.
right. Oh God, I
Yeah,
could gain 4 pounds in an hour, Connor. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
but that's so. Were you big as a child, or when did you start getting
I was
big?
always chubby, but I guess I was never really that big. Looking back at some photos, I always felt fat.
Me too.
Um,
Yeah.
but people would say it's ridiculous, you're not fat. But I think I just had that sort of body type where I was a bit chubby all the time. But it just
Right.
got really bad over the past sort of decade. Now, it's really been in, I've written down my dates. It was summer 2018 when I decided this needs to stop. I mean, I went through a really bad time, and health wise, like, you ever have that thing where your legs don't move, and you wake up in the morning and you can't feel your legs, and there's like tingling and all sorts. That was just because I was so heavy and so unhealthy. And I think that was the key thing. It was realizing it's not so much that even that you're fat, it's like you're really unhealthy. And
Yeah.
once you start thinking, it's like, I don't need to lose weight, I need to get healthy. And changing that mindset, I think, is important. So
That's true. So like, I just want to talk about what you just said because it really hit home. It's like I was starting to have leg problems. I was starting to have like it's not like I don't think I like knock on wood. I don't think it was diabetes tingling. I've been checked. I don't have not. Luckily, I don't have diabetes. But like on the side of my thigh, sometimes it would like
yeah,
burn a little bit, and like I looked it up. I went to WebMD, um, and it was like I was like, do I have cancer? And no, it was something. It's like called like a pinched nerve, sort of like it just gets like covered up in
yeah,
fat. But then like actually, right when I got home here, there were times where I'd be sitting for too long, and then I'd stand up and I'd pick my leg up, and it would like a huge pain and
yeah.
like that I luckily knock on wood that's gone. But so you said summer of 2018 you decided to make a
Well,
change. Was there like an event or like what
uh,
happened?
yeah. I mean, my event was, well, for a start, I just got a temporary job teaching, and we get good summer holidays teaching, and I was teaching in media, filmmaking, and that sort of thing. And I, for the first time, I was got paid summer holidays, so I went to
Oh
Spain.
wow, that's
Yeah, that
nice.
was like a real treat. And and so I had booked a like Airbnb in Spain near Barcelona for 4 or 5 weeks. And I
Okay.
remember on the first night out, I went to this like one of the local bars and got so drunk, so wasted. And I don't really enjoy alcohol, and I remember waking up the next day and thinking, I can't do this anymore. I just, I didn't enjoy it. You spend so much money and you come home wasted. And not only that, I found out, like, I knew I'd done something. Apparently, I this is embarrassing, but I think that night I'd gone into the guy who owned the apartment. I was renting his spare room off, and thinking I was using the bathroom, and I opened his like closet door and like pissed on his shoes or something.
Oh
So I was like,
God.
oh, this is
Yeah,
really
that
not me. But it
that's
was,
a
I had
quite
a,
a welcome. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that was it. I thought no more. I thought I can't spend 4 weeks in Spain sort of doing this every night. So I decided that day with a really bad hangover, I'm going to do this, change my diet. And I'd listened to Jordan Peterson on the Joe Rogan podcast talk about the carnivore diet. So I just researched that. And at the time, all I really had was like, searching on my phone, looking up different diets. But I'd read about this sort of keto diet, and I thought, well, I'm just going to try it. And I think being in a different environment and having that time away from home, didn't have all this sort of, the kitchen, the fridge and the cupboard and all the usual things and all the habits. Being
Right.
away from home gave me that time, new environment. Just thought, if I can do it for 4 weeks, we'll see how I get on. And for the 4 weeks, I was really strict. I mean, I didn't let any sugar. I didn't drink any more beer. I just
Wow.
quit alcohol that time.
Well, let me interrupt for 1 second
Yeah,
because that was because you mentioned that in your email, and the thing that I was very impressed with you because for me, traveling was all about food. I would spend
yeah,
hours looking up where I wanted to eat and find new places, and it was like I've had entire relationships where we go and like there's nothing more fun to me than being in a hotel room or somewhere and like having food, and it's gonna be an issue for me when I start traveling again, and the fact that you were in a place with, I imagine Spain has amazing food, but
yeah.
like the fact that you were traveling and that's when you decided to make this change, and not even that you decided, because I've decided to make the change 8 million times, but the fact that you stuck to it is amazing. So you stuck to it. You said really strict for 4 weeks, and
Well, I thought if I could do it for 4 weeks, then that's an achievement. And in the 4 weeks I worked it out, I did like 3 stone in 4 weeks. So that was about 42 pounds roughly.
wow, dude, that's
Um,
amazing. Were you
yeah,
working out too?
I just walked a lot.
Okay.
Walked, maybe 5, sometimes 10 miles a day. Just depended, on the
Wow,
weather.
that's a lot of walking, dude, especially at
Yeah,
that size.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It was tough as well because I had all sorts of aches and pains. I think when you were so heavy, you didn't realize all the aches and things. And your body has a lot of inflammation, or along with the fat that it stores. And I was going through a lot of pain at the time. Actually, it was very difficult. You go through that sort of stage of getting rid of all the toxins in your body. And so there was nights I just didn't really sleep. I felt, you had the flu, and apparently there's a thing called like the keto flu that you can get. And I really did go
Wow.
through all that. But it was really releasing all the toxins and poisons out of your body over the course of the few weeks.
Okay.
Um, and so a lot of pains that I had, like I had really bad feet. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's got plantar fasciitis, I think it's called.
I've
And
heard I don't know what it is, but I've heard of it.
you tend to get it when you're heavy, and when you would get up in the morning, your feet would be all like really painful, and a lot of that just went away with the weight loss over the course of like a week. The plantar fasciitis went away.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah, the thing was food. I just had to change my relationship with food. I mean, I spent like the 4 weeks in Spain walking around supermarkets because I would cook for myself and just looking at the back of the packets for sugar content and carbohydrate content. It's
Isn't it
just
crazy what they put sugar into? Those
sugars and
freaking
everything. It's,
jerks. They
it's
like
crazy. They
like it.
sneak it in.
They sneak it in, and it's like it's a conspiracy against us. So
Yeah.
you
The worst,
mentioned
the worst
before.
thing. Yeah.
Oh
So
no, go ahead.
the worst thing is when they say it's low fat, because they replace, like, because actually fat's not a bad thing. There's good fats that your body needs, and they replace that with like a sugar alternative, and it's a much worse effect.
Right. Oh, and see, I haven't
Yeah.
really, to be honest, I haven't gotten too deep into that. I need to start. And I am pretty strict, but I do have like frozen food sometimes, just because I'm really focusing on the calories right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
But I know you're absolutely right. So you mentioned in your note, and this is something that I've never heard of before, but it sounds cool. What's Dito Keto?
Keto Keto?
You said you were Dito Keto with OMAD.
Keto Keto. Sorry, I don't know what Keto Keto is.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
No, Keto Keto. Sorry, maybe it was a typo.
Okay.
I just didn't.
I was wondering if it sounded like a cool a cool thing. So no, that's fine. So you lost all that. So you lost 3 stone in a month.
Yeah.
And what
Oh
happened when
yeah.
you got back to Ireland?
Well, the worry I had was I was going to go back to my job, and the job that I had, I worked in college, and they had these like amazing breakfasts and lunches and dinners, and I thought I'm going to end up putting all the weight back on because I could not resist those breakfasts. When I got home,
What's the
and I was
breakfast in Ireland? What's
Well,
your
like
favorite
fried
breakfast?
bread and like fried bread and bacon and sausages and baked beans. It's like the worst thing you could eat.
They
It's a nice
fry
thing, but
bread? I've
yeah,
never even heard of fried bread. What's
oh
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's just like fried. They have like potato bread. It's like bread made with potatoes. It's fried.
Oh wow.
It's like, but I haven't had it. I haven't had it since I came home, and that's like a
Oh,
few
good
years
for
ago.
you. Oh,
But
you haven't
yeah,
had it at
well,
all?
no, I just don't. I mean, I went on a little short break. I think in a hotel break like last year in south of Ireland, and I think I maybe had it, and for breakfast, it was on the menu. But at that stage, I'd lost so much weight. I can still, I'll do the odd break that, have a little
Right.
treat.
I have a little bit, but not every
But
day.
no, it's sort of like the addiction and the sort of yeah, just that automatic eating these bad foods that just went away. So I managed to go back to work, and the weight loss just kept coming. And it as time went on, you start feeling much better. People start noticing. People start, and then you're reinforced with like good comments and positive things. And I went from in the course of a year to down to about 170 pounds, and then by the end of, I think, October 2019, I was down to about 160 pounds, and I actually think that was a little bit too low. I think I'd actually lost a bit too much weight. I looked really bad in the face, and so I've started to sort of level off, and I'm around about 175 pounds now.
That's awesome. So wait, so that was October 2019. I know you started in 2018, but you said the summer, right?
Yeah, it was July, start of July, because I get my holidays at that time, so I would
So it took you
go.
about 15 months.
Yeah, to get down.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a gradual thing. There was there was no plateau. There was no spikes. It was just a gradual thing. I used to go. So I started then. I've been doing Bikram yoga for years, and I never got. I just get bigger and bigger. I
Right.
used to have that thing where I'd go to the gym, I'd work out, and then I'd go and treat myself to a nice
Yeah, yeah.
dinner. That's
Yeah,
the
because
worst.
you earned it. You burned 200 calories, so you earned fast food, right? I've done
Yeah,
that a
yeah,
million
you've earned it.
times.
I used to go to this girl who had her own like gym, and she used to give me private 1-to-1, and I would go straight out the door across the road. So it was a lovely cafe, and I've earned this. I know that was such a bad way to be, but it's
Yeah.
not like that now. I would say actually since the pandemic, gyms have closed and my yoga studio closed, and although they do them on Zoom, it's like it's not the
Yeah,
same.
what are you
And
gonna do? Turn the heat up in your apartment? You're like
no,
that's not gonna be
no,
that's
it's not the same.
Oh
So
god,
I'll
I've
go
done
for
that
long
yoga
walks,
thing
but
for a while, and that oof, I did it like 2 or 3 times, but it's maybe when I'm a little bit, and who knows, maybe I'm making excuses, but when I was heavy,
oh,
that was hard to be in like 100-degree room. I felt like I was gonna pass out.
I was doing Bikram yoga and I was at my heaviest, and it was no problem. I mean, I always had that flexibility, and I only got better. So when the weight was gone, I could do all the poses to the maximum effect. So that was
That's
good.
awesome. So
Uh,
so what have you? So it's been almost 3 years, I guess 2.5.
yeah, it'll be coming up in 3 years in July. Um,
So what have you done, or like how has your diet changed from when you were being very strict to now you're maintaining? How have you been able to maintain it?
well, when I was being very strict, it was obviously watching every gram of sugar and just trying to have absolutely none. Now it's like, I've gone from double XL on my clothes to small.
You got to
Okay.
small?
I got the small in the course of a
Nice.
year. I had this like jackets here that I had double XL, and I just had to go and like I sold them on eBay, and I would go on eBay and buy the small version. Like the shirts I'm wearing are all small. This is small, and it goes from
Dude.
40-inch waist to 30-inch waist in just about a year. So, and that all. So the thing is, I don't go by weight. I don't even have scales in my house. I go to my friend's house and he has a digital scale and it'll track it on your app on your phone. And occasionally I'll say, "Oh, let me try it." And sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. But I just don't look at the weight. I look at do my clothes fit and do I feel good? And I feel good, and my clothes still fit. So as soon as I go to put on my trousers and they don't button up, I think, okay, I need to get back on that diet and back
That
on.
that is a
Yeah.
very good guideline or thing to notice. But trust me, I've done the thing sometimes. I don't know if you ever did this when you were heavy, but I would get so defiant that I would button my pants around my thighs and then jump up like girls do when they're wearing skinny jeans. But I'm
Yeah.
just doing it because I was too heavy. So that's so okay. Do you count calories at all, or are you just sort
No.
of like making good decisions?
No, I count calories and I still do the one meal a day. And it's really because I've got so used to it and so adapted that I couldn't eat more than once a day. I just
Right.
couldn't.
I really
Yeah,
it really works for me too.
yeah,
Some people are get really freaked out by it, and I'm not saying I'll never have a lunch again, and I'll just have to like have a little bit less at night. But for me, I I I don't know about you, but for me, I really don't feel like I'm holding back. Really,
no,
I don't have dessert, but meal wise, I feel like I'm having a normal meal.
yeah.
What time do you eat? What time of day do you normally go for?
I try not to eat too late. Generally about 5, 6 o'clock
Okay, so
is a
yeah,
good
you go
time
with
for
dinner
me.
too. I go with dinner as well.
Yeah,
It's because the nighttime. There's something about nighttime that just the devil comes out, and I want to eat
yeah.
everything. So as long as I'm sort of full at night, I'm good.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll eat well. Tonight I got salad stuff tonight, and I'll have some meat and maybe dessert. But dessert wise, it'll be like heavy cream and dark chocolate and peanut butter. I'll mix all that up. It'll be
Ooh,
something
that sounds
very
good.
sweet, but actually low sugar. There's all sorts of like low sugar desserts you can still have. You can still get your sort of sweet fix. Um,
Do you have outshine bars in Ireland? They're like a fruit
no,
popsicle.
no, I don't. I don't
Oh,
no.
okay. I if you ever see them, um, they're a fruit popsicle, but they have a no sugar added version, and they're
Yeah,
only 25 calories. And I eat
yeah.
those things like they're going out of style. They're what's your favorite low sugar dessert?
I'll make my own. It'll be with like cream, heavy cream, peanut butter, dark chocolate. I'll mix in like stevia, and I'll mix all that up on the pan so it all melts. And then what I'll do, I'll pour it into a bowl or something and put it in the freezer, and then it becomes like a little mousse or an ice cream. And
Oh,
maybe have some berries or mixed cream with it. I mean, it'll be quite a high fat thing, but it'll be low sugar.
okay.
I love chocolate. That was the one thing I
Oh
really like
yeah,
chocolate.
there's nothing better than chocolate and peanut butter, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Are
So
you
I,
so are you still also trying to be keto or not?
yeah, so the thing with keto is like, I think you can knock yourself out of it if you have too many carbs in the one day, or you could have a cheat meal and that could knock you out for a week. So I try my best to be as keto as I can. I mean, at this stage, I'm maintaining, so I don't, I'm not as strict as what I used to be. And like last night, like I went to McDonald's, and I can still go to McDonald's. I'll just eat the burger. You can order it with no bread and all the extra salad. It's what they call dirty keto. It's not, it's like the odd treat. I don't mind. It's not the best meat, and what they cook it in is not the best stuff, but it's still low carb. So
And you get the flavor.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
really interesting. I and maybe I'll have to try it for a couple weeks, but the low carb I tried it when it was called Atkins. It was and
yeah.
it was basically just low carb. I know with keto there's
It's
a
high
lot
fat.
more science behind it.
Yeah, but
But it was really tough for me. I and right now and maybe I'm just getting in my own way, but the idea of not having bread or rice or pasta
oh, I don't miss any of it.
is really how long did
No,
that take? Because it's really scary to
no
me.
time, no time. I mean,
Wow.
I went onto that, it took about a week or two to adjust. Not even really. I don't eat bread. I don't miss it. I don't eat pasta or rice at all. I don't miss it. I mean, the thing with the keto is like, yeah, it's low carb, but it's also high fat. So you have to have a good amount of healthy fats. So you get your cheese and your cream and good fatty meats, and um, and that keeps you satiated. And also your body then adapts its fuel source from carbs. The fuel source turns to that turns to sugar, and your body runs on that. Whereas on keto, your body then gets adapted to running on fat. And then the point is, you get yourself adapted to running on fat, and then you end up using your own stored body fat. So you think about all the excess weight, it's just like potential energy that you have that you're ready
Right.
to turn to.
Oh,
And so
I got a lot of energy, Connor.
yeah,
I
that's
could
a better
probably
way of,
run a small town on this energy I got
but
stored here.
it's a better way of saying, no, I'm not fat. I've just got a lot of potential energy.
Yeah, I'm saving up for
Yeah.
a blackout. So Connor, we're getting to the end of our time. I would be really interested to know if you have, like, if you could talk to yourself June 2018. What would you tell him? Like, how would you motivate him, and what would you tell him, like, the future's like?
Oh, the future for me, it's been like, I honestly feel like I'm 10 years younger, maybe more. I've got clothes that behind me here that I would have had in my teens that are too big for me. I think I've extended my life, to be honest. I've got so much healthier, so much happier as well. And, it used to be I could never really get a job. I always had that low self-esteem. I think losing the weight, getting healthy, it changed my whole mindset. It changed my outlook. I'm a lot more positive. I got like 2 promotions and a second job. And I don't know that my qualifications didn't change. My experience didn't change.
Right, right.
The only thing between all that was I changed. And I think that all just fed into me overall having a much more positive mindset about myself and the future. So it's been the best thing I ever did. Um, and again, it was like 1,000 times you'd go to bed and you think, right, tomorrow I'm going to start. Tomorrow I'm going to do this diet tomorrow, and it was just that one event back in July 2018 that just decided, no, this is it now.
Well, well,
And I
thank.
think it was in a really bad way. I think health wise, it could have, if I hadn't have done something then, I may but be sitting here today because I
Right.
had problems. I had all sorts of things. So.
Well, thank
Um,
God you got drunk in Spain that night, dude. You should write it that bartender thank you note. It changed
Yeah,
your entire life. Well,
happy hour.
thank you so much for coming on, Connor.
No problem, Lee,
Thank
and
you.
best of luck with your own journey. And I was so happy to see that you're doing your own podcast. I'm subscribed to both your channels, and I hope that you keep going. And
I
we're
will.
all
I
rooting for
will.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Connor for coming on to the podcast. It was great talking to you. Very inspiring. I'm definitely going to check out Jordan Peterson. I know he has some people who love him and some people who hate him. All that matters to me is that you guys lose weight or are healthy and happy. If Jordan inspires some people and other people don't like what he says, then the people who don't like him don't go watch and listen to him or read his books. If if something that he says can inspire you and keep you motivated, great. That makes me happy. So I'm definitely gonna check out what he says. Connor, I'm gonna have to work myself up to take those multiple hour walks with you. I don't know how you do it. I'm lucky to get an hour in, and I'm actually about to go do a walk now. Thank you very much for coming onto the show. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And don't forget, if you want to be a guest and call in, just email me, wastelinepodcast@gmail.com. I'll be back next Tuesday it'll be in the same, maybe different grocery store. Maybe I'll change the background tomorrow. I will be in Denver. I will let you know what I weigh in next week somehow. But for the most part, I'll just be recording it early just so I make sure not to miss a week. Thank you very much to Manscaped for sponsoring this episode. Go to manscaped.com and use code SIAT to get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. Thank you for watching and listening and telling your friends about the Waistline Podcast. I have a blast doing it. We're losing weight. We're getting healthier. We're supporting each other. And that's all I can ask for. That's more than I can ask for out of you guys. So thank you. I love you. And I will see you next week.